Ever since I first saw Black Myth Wukong all of those years ago, I just had a feeling this was going to be a contender for Game of the Year. A lot of people were comparing this to the likes of Elden Ring and Souls-like games, but it was said online that this is easier than Souls games. Okay, it didn't work. That was not good.
Damn it!
Oh my gosh. This is hard. And after 50 hours, nearly 60 hours of the game, I have finally completed Black Myth Wukong. And there are a hell of a lot of mistakes that I'm going to run through in this video, but this will be my spoiler-free review of Black Myth Wukong. This is going to make your experience a lot easier. And a massive shout out for gamescience for actually sending me a code to play this game. So thank you.
No, this is
what is that damn noise?
Like, seriously, you need to listen to me. I think I know what I'm talking about.
What the hell is... What are you guys doing here?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I like the new place. Settling in really good.
And who are you?
Well, my name's Consuela, and we're arguing over the front cover of Wukong. See, I think it should be this, and I'm gonna send it to gamescience.
What the hell is even that? Jesus!
See, I'm saying not to send this cover because this is not what players want.
Oh, really? You don't usually make those good decisions.
See, I'm saying that they should make players choose the gender of the monkey. If it wants to be non-binary or anything like that, the players should choose.
You know what? I ain't got time for this. This is a bigger house. Do what you want. I'm gonna get on with my review.
Doesn't like inclusivity.
That's why we need the pink monkey.
Right out of the gate, arguably Black Myth Wukong is one of the most impressive graphical games that is on current gen. It is exactly how they promoted it over the 6 chapters, and oh my gosh, every chapter pretty much has a completely different environment and they each look so damn beautiful, especially with the snow. I don't even have a 4K monitor OLED. That is my next purchase for the PS5 Pro. I've got an LG Ultra Gear 2160. It still looks incredible. In terms of performance, 90% of the time it was great. I noticed mostly before that very first patch. Yes, at certain times there was a few frame rate drops, especially with the big bosses early on. I think as the updates went on, it just got better. You notice it more when you're pulling off these dodges. And I also did try the game in fidelity for about 10 seconds because when you go into fidelity, if you're standing, it looks even better. But as soon as you get that 30 FPS, I'm like,
No, listen, no.
this needs a PS5 Pro update, $700. Now, I decided to play the game in Chinese only because I wanted to play the game how it was intended. And I'm not sure if this is because I've chosen it in Chinese. I don't think it is. I just think it's a very complicated story to understand because, I'll be honest, I don't really know what's going on.
Damn.
You have to really pay attention, and I'm pretty sure it isn't just me. You're gonna have to listen to some YouTube videos. I want to play the game again so I can understand more about this story. Me being stupid, as I am quite a few times, this game is like an anime film at times. And what I didn't realize, which you shouldn't make this mistake. Well, this is the first mistake you shouldn't make. At the end of each chapter, there's like a story being told in the form of an anime show or film, and it is incredible. It's just beautiful. Some of the stories in these chapters are amazing. These were so well put together, and it is very deep. But what I didn't realize is at the very end of the chapter, when it sums up the chapter, which I didn't realize till the end of chapter 5, you could hover over the painting that is summing up that chapter. And as you hover over it, you can basically click into it, and there is more dialogue and more story being told of certain characters. Yeah, I didn't know. What is this? Did I just miss
C 看到了他最害怕的恶
I
魔
just missed this.
红孩儿脚踏战车，领6件将来
Bruh.
齐
This is based off the popular Chinese novel Journey to the West. And it has been said online, so it's not just me, that it's quite complicated. And I didn't actually realize until throughout the game is actually set after the events of Journey to the West. I assumed it was basically that story, but it isn't. Now, our main antagonist, the monkey we play, doesn't actually say anything. Some of you might find that a problem because you're like, oh, he doesn't say anything, but I didn't find it an issue because there are so many side characters. There's a lot of dialogue with those sort of characters. Even though I am a little bit lost with the story, I want to play this game again for a new game plus to play in English. That's for one. But wow, the combat. The transformations. The big damn bosses. I'm definitely going to play this. Oh my gosh. Going to be all redecorated. Oh, I knew it. Now I'm going to die. Oh my god, they're going to piss you off. Oh my! Oh my! Wow! This is so hard. Oh my god! Oh my gosh, this is hard. The combat in this game makes you feel like an absolute badass, especially during different points in the battle where your enemy will just slowly walk and you will walk. And I'm like, wow, I feel like quite a cool monkey. Epic. This is movie style until I start fighting. Okay. Oh, he wants to. I like that. All right, stand off. Let me just. I'm going to go with the other one. There is so much depth and choice to the combat. It can feel a little overwhelming at times because you will want to try out different spells, transformations, and abilities. I love that there is no block mechanic. The dodge is going to be your best friend, and when done on perfect time, it will increase your focus, which you will need to do to maximize the amount of damage on your 3 stances that you are unlocked throughout the game: the smash stance, the pillar stance, and the thrust stance. And each of these 3 stances will be better against certain bosses in the game. You need to remember that. You have to be clever and analyze your opponent's movements. And you need to learn from them. I can get a little bit stubborn. You might have seen me on stream. Damn it. Oh, gosh. Damn it. You've done it now, haven't you? You flipping... Oh, for flip's sake. Every time I told you to focus. Don't worry, we've got this. Guys, I hope you're having a great Saturday. It's all good. Damn it. Oh my gosh, when am I going to become Elden Lord? Like the tiger boss, I thought it was so hard. It was so hard because it was so early on the game. You know what? I have to learn the timing. Okay, so I've realized patience and timing. You have to learn the moves. Okay. Okay. Where'd it go? Oh my gosh, where the hell? What? Oh my gosh. How is this even possible? Off stream, I decided to just focus on analyzing his movements. And when I did, it just simply just clicked. When I went on the stream the next time, I did it in the first go. Here he is. We ain't dying today. I've been practicing. I told you. Boom! Okay! Let's go! Another big mistake I did, which I spoke to my good friend Alex off stream, and he told me you need to upgrade your staff, you need to do a few side missions to retrieve a few particular items. At that point before the tiger, he goes, you haven't upgraded your staff, and that was a major issue. As soon as I did, I managed to deal so much more damage, which therefore made it a lot easier. So don't just go through a boss like I did, get stubborn, and just decide, no, I'm just gonna try and do it. Another big mistake, is this just a video about my mistakes? Probably. You need to respec your damn skill points. I didn't do this. This was my biggest mistake throughout the whole game. And like a typical RPG, I like to just sometimes evenly distribute my skill points that I earn. A little bit on the cloud step, which my gosh is so important. Immobilize, which is definitely needed throughout my whole playthrough. The problem is, I maxed out and distributed my skill points evenly. And when I got to particular bosses, I would only use a certain amount of skills. I didn't respec my skill points. What I should have done is taken off all the skill points that I'm not using on a particular skill, whether it's immobilize, for example, even though I use that quite a bit, or the monkeys where they multiply, the pluck of something. I should have taken all those skill points off, and whatever I was using against that particular boss, I should have maxed out. You actually need to do that for certain bosses. You need to find out what way you're gonna play, respec, and max out on those particular abilities, and then it's gonna make your life so much easier. Why didn't I do that? Because I'm stubborn. Like, I had points on certain skills that I wasn't even using, like the Ring of Fire, which you unlock as you go along, which creates a ring on the ground, which then boosts recovery and enhances the effects of consumables. You also become resistant to regular and elemental attacks. But the problem is, there were times where I wasn't using it, so I might as well have taken those skill points off and put them on something else. And these are not the only mistakes I've made. You have your flask or your gourd, which will replenish health, but you can add soaks to your gourd as well. I think I'm saying that right. Each drink you choose will replenish health, and you can change the soaks within the drink, which I only properly paid attention to when I was at the last damn boss. Now that I have the Loon Balm, I can choose a whopping 4 soaks that are going to have a massive benefits when you recover health. I wasted time having a soak that increases the pluck of many. That's the duplicates of the monkeys. Why did I have that on there? Because I just didn't bother going back into the menu to change it. I was not using that on the final boss or many bosses. I needed mana. Certain bosses you will need that cloud step to replenish as quickly as possible, as it sets out a decoy whilst you can wait for them to finish their combo and then attack them. Didn't realize when you're using cloud step, you can actually charge up your attack. So the boss is not even actually attacking you, and then as soon as you get closer, you can unleash a devastating attack. Another stupid thing I forgot to do at the start of the game of chapter 1, and I do believe chapter 2, you will meet a couple of NPCs, a monkey and a fox, and with the fox you will be able to upgrade your health, mana, or your abilities, which I forgot. You need to do this to improve your stats. Like, it's simple. Didn't do it because I just went on to the next chapter and totally forgot about it. You can basically increase your gourds and your drinks, which will restore maximum health, for example. And I think in the snowy area, I didn't do a certain side quest. When you return this item, it will then bring you into a secret area. And both of those NPCs, as well as another one, will be all in the same area. So it's so much easier than going from chapter 1, chapter 2. They're all in the same area. And then there's another NPC that you'll be able to upgrade your armor. I didn't know this until like chapter
6.
Certain armor will have certain buffs for certain enemies, which you can then choose. I just didn't bother. I know I was stubborn and I tried to refrain from not looking at YouTube tutorials, but I strongly recommend you do to just give yourself a little bit more help when going into these chapters. I like to play my first playthrough and just try and do it on my own. And then the second playthrough, I want to do all the little secrets and other secret bosses that I didn't really do. By the way, before this game came out, I was wrong. Yes, this game is easier than Souls games, but I went in thinking, ha! I'm gonna be fine. I got this. Oh my gosh, he just headbutted me. Okay, I'm dead. Oh, I just saw your message. Hold L2 to... We died. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be. So if you're someone who doesn't like Souls games at all, I do believe you're going to still find this very hard. It is easier, but then again, some of these bosses feel like I'm playing Elden Ring, man, just without a block button. They can be so hard.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm still warming up, guys. I'm still warming up. This is ridiculous. As you learn the moves of these enemies and you get some tips on what sort of armor and buffs you should have, where you should respec your skill points, it does become a lot easier. Now, when this game was promoted to us, we were shown a lot of transformations, which is crazy. And they said there were like over 80 transformations. There basically is. Although I thought it would be a lot longer or you could transform at any time. Yes, it's for a short period and it's for a short attack. There are still so many transformations that will have different effects on certain bosses. And oh my gosh, they are amazing. Obviously, I pretty much maxed out the Buddha head because I used him the most. I bet I'm not the only one because it was just such a big Buddha head. It just does a devastating attack. It was just an attack that I love. Although I wanted to deviate and try a lot of different transformations, I've only tried a few. You know what I'm like. As soon as I like something, I like to keep to it. The only thing I wished throughout the whole game and at the start was a transmog system. Now, as I go along in the game, I still wish there was because there were certain armors early on in the game that I got and I was like, no, I want to keep to this. So I do wish there was a transmog where I could have the certain buffs from certain armors and then basically keep that throughout the whole game. But then again, as you do get along in the game, there are some armors sets that are really flipping impressive. So it does force you obviously to use different armor sets and you can kind of experiment. For the majority, they all look good, but that's just something I kind of probably just want. And also, one thing I would love to have in the future, maybe this is something they could improve the game on now that they've made loads of money. Hopefully they can invest it back with a physical copy. But also, I really wish there was the haptic feedback with the PS5 DualSense. That's the only thing I felt like, oh my gosh, this is just missing the features that the DualSense offers. Like, you just hope when it comes out with maybe a physical release, they obviously do a free update alongside that and they add adaptive triggers. That would be great. Maybe I'm being too ambitious. But another positive about this game.
There's no diversity.
There's actually loads of female characters. There's loads. What do you want? What, do you want a Karen in the game?
Now that is more like it. Inclusive.
1 minute later.
Oh my god, what the?
What I was going to say is the one thing I love about this game, which is an amazing decision that they made. The fact that this is a linear experience, it's not an open world game. My gosh, even though we were told before the game's release that this was a linear game and it wasn't an open world, I thought this would be so much more linear than I thought. There is no map in the game, which I think is another great decision, because if there was, I think you would see how small maybe. It just encourages you to explore. And my gosh, some of these areas are huge. I didn't realize, like, it just feels so God of War-esque, and I love that about God of War Ragnarok, the different realms. The fact that it is smaller and they have certain realms, they can basically max out on the quality of each world and each level. And the fact that there was supposed to be 12 chapters in this game just tells you there's going to be a DLC. But wow, there are so many secrets, caves. Even if you've completed a chapter and you're on chapter 3, something unlocks in chapter 1 that you need to go back to, and wow, the exploration is crazy. I really hope that they keep this for a future game. Don't go open world. There's no point. I just feel like they've got a winning formula, and wow, was this great. I love it that there's no map. Now, Black Myth Wukong is a very complicated story to understand. Maybe it's just me, but the setting and the graphics, the gameplay, everything else prevails that makes me want to research more about this story, but also do a new game plus and try it out in English, because the English dub is actually pretty good, and just experience it again, because there are so many things that I've missed out. There are so many more bosses and hidden areas that I want to find. If you're a fan of Souls games, you're gonna love it. But if you're a casual gamer and you completely hate Souls games, potentially you might not like this game. Yes, it's easier, but you're still gonna probably want some tips on YouTube, because yeah, it's still pretty hard. I just loved this game so much. This lived up and prevailed all my expectations. I was singing this game's praises all the way before release because I was just anticipated about this game. But now that it's out, it's just fulfilled all of my expectations. And I just hope for the future that they bring out a physical release. I can't wait for the DLC, which that's been confirmed. I hope they bring out a patch maybe in the future for adaptive triggers, or maybe that's going to be saved for a sequel. And thank you so much for not bending the knee for the likes of IGN trying to ruin your reputation, and Screen Rant saying that there's not enough diversity when you're playing as a damn monkey and this is all about Chinese mythology. You won! You won.
Well done, Game Science. Woo! No pink monkey.
Like, I can't wait to release my top 10, top 15 games of 2024. It's going to be a tough year. What do you think about my review for Black Myth Wukong? But do you like it? Have you played it? Are you waiting for a physical release? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know. Well, let's take a look at the comment of the day from my previous video. We are done. Shout out to Barry Big Plums. I'm 10 years older than you. I've just been through the last 2 years, which was the hardest of my life. Built my own house on 4 acres of land. Pretty sure I had a breakdown as the pressure and stress was so much. More booze than I should have too. I'm through the worst and very proud of the end result. Your channel put a smile on my face during the last 24 months. Love your positivity. Cheers, bud. Thank you so much for the comment of the day, Barry. I really appreciate it, and well done to you. A lot of you will know that me and Els have finally moved into our own house. My goal was to make it full time, but there is a lot of pressure getting to this point, but also paying the mortgage. I'm not going to stop at making this YouTube my full-time job in the future, and I just appreciate each and every one of you who have shown a lot of support, especially in the last video, which I didn't realize there would be. I've never done a video like that. All I gotta say is thank you for supporting this channel. If you could do anything, just hit the damn like button. I appreciate you. But yeah, time now is to get content out. I've got a bigger house now to get so much more content and ideas. This room will be decorated soon. There's crap everywhere, so you're gonna have to excuse the background in these future videos, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna build the ultimate gaming room. I better go kick out those people that were downstairs.